1, 2, 3, 4!
Welcome to Season 4 of the I4L podcast, where we stop yelling at the mirror and start checking if it is actually showing us something. Also, yes, it probably will get spicier, because apparently that is what happens when you mix human ego with comment sections. Here's the signal. If the world looks more hateful than it is, your feed might be lying to you. Not lying like a conspiracy, lying like a funhouse mirror that got optimized for attention. So Season 4 is about this. We are going to look straight at the parts of human nature that people love to call the problem. Not to excuse them, not to dunk on them, but to understand what is actually happening under the hood and what you can do about it in your own life. Because if you only understand people as villains, you become very easy to manipulate. And the internet loves an easy target, the way mosquitoes love ankles. This season is going to use a simple move. We look in the mirror, we ask, what would make a reasonable person start acting unreasonable? We ask, what patterns keep repeating, and why do I keep meeting it? And we ask, what is my next choice if I want a different outcome? That is the whole season. Signal, mirror, sovereignty, gritty invitation. No incense, no vibes, just receipts. Let me name the problem without turning it into a crusade. Social media does something sneaky to your brain. It takes rare behaviors and makes them feel common. It takes loud people and makes them feel like everyone. It takes the worst examples and serves them to you like they are a balanced sample of humanity. Why? Because outrage keeps you scrolling, and scrolling keeps the lights on. Researchers have found that content with moral and emotional language spreads more on social media platforms, and that false information can spread far faster than truth in certain contexts. And large-scale analysis of online networks show how platforms can funnel us into clustered worlds where each side thinks the other side is the whole world. So your nervous system gets trained, your attention gets trained, and then you start reacting to a distorted map. Now add one more ingredient. If you have a history of attracting a certain archetype, your feed will confirm it. Not because all people are that way, but because your pattern keeps bumping into that pattern. So you end up thinking, most men are X, or most women are Y, or most people are Z. When what might be true is, I keep ending up in the same room with the same kind of person, just wearing a different outfit. That is not a shame sentence. That is a power sentence. Because if it is a pattern, it is workable. And this is where the spicier part comes in. We're going to talk about archetypes, not as permanent labels, not as an excuse to dehumanize, but as reoccurring strategies humans use when they are afraid, hungry, status-seeking, insecure, lonely, or addicted to control. Some people are not hateful. They are hurt and running a bad script. Some people are not contemptuous. They are terrified of feeling small, so they make everyone else smaller first. Some people are not evil. They are just allergic to accountability. And yes, sometimes people are simply malicious. We will not pretend otherwise, but we will get better at telling the difference. Season 4 is not, look at those people. It is, how do I keep my own mind clean in a dirty environment? Because here's the trap. If you let the internet decide what most people are like, you will start living like the world is worse than it is. You will choose fear. You will choose isolation. You will choose preemptive cruelty as self-protection. You will start calling cynicism wisdom. That is not strength. It is trauma with a Wi-Fi connection. So we are doing a different move. We are going to practice sovereignty. That means you own your inputs. You own your standards. You own your boundaries. You own your attention. You stop outsourcing your worldview to the angriest content on your phone. Now, let me preview the first episode after this intro. It's called Of Men. I took an old essay that paints a certain picture of women. Then I had the mirror GPT that I've developed over the years rewrite it as if it were written today from a modern woman's standpoint. And the point is not, this is what men are. The point is, these archetypes exist and people will recognize them instantly. They will go, oh yeah, I know that guy. Then we do the grown-up part. We separate some men from most men. We separate patterns I keep meeting from the entire population. We talk about why those archetypes form, what they protect, and what they cost. And we talk about how to stop accidentally selecting from them. If you are listening and your stomach tightens, great. That is your nervous system tagging something as relevant. We are going to turn that reaction into information, not a crusade. Because a lot of our cultural fights are not really about truth. They are about threat. They are about identity. They are about status. They are about, do I feel safe? And if you do not understand that, you will keep arguing facts at feelings, like yelling math problems at a barking dog. Technically correct, but socially useless. Here is your gritty invitation for this week. 7 days, 10 minutes a day, one metric. For the next 7 days, pick one hot topic that you keep seeing online. Anything that reliably lights up your nervous system. Every day, for 10 minutes, and only 10 minutes, do this. Write out the strongest version of the other side's argument in only 2 sentences. Write what fear might be underneath it in 1 sentence. Then write one boundary you can set so you do not become that fear yourself. At the end of each 10 minutes, rate your emotional intensity from 0 to 10. If the number drops over the week, you are building sovereignty. If it stays high, you are still letting the algorithm lead your nervous system by the nose ring. And yes, that is a sentence I stand by. Your feed is not a census, it is a spotlight. Archetypes exist, but exists is not the same as most people. Sovereignty means you manage inputs, boundaries, and choices like an adult. If season 4 makes you uncomfortable, good. That is what it's supposed to do. Uncomfortable is where the signal actually lives. Subscribe, share this with someone who is ready to trade outrage for clarity, and try the 7-day mirror drill. Then tell other people what changed.